Hello friends, in last lecture we saw the concept of congruency, how we can say two triangles are congruent or how we can say two particular figures are congruent. Now in this lecture we will see the congruency criteria or the condition for the congruency of triangles. So there are some rules that you must had learnt in class 7th. The rules are, if you remember the names, for SAS, then AAS, ASA, then AAS, okay, then SSS and RHS. These are basically 5 rules or conditions by which we can say or we can prove the triangles are congruent. Side angle side, angle, angle side, side, right angle hypotenuse side. Now in your textbook these rules are given exercise wise. For example, first exercise is based on this, then second exercise is based on these two, then third is on this, and the fourth one was in this. But over here we will see all the rules together, because it is quite possible that a particular question can be proved more than one criteria. So we will see all these criteria all together, and then we start our exercises or the problems based on these uh, criteria. We'll see one by one. So very first one is, that is side angle side. So heading will take that conditions for congruency of triangles. Conditions for congruency of triangles. In this, the first one is SAS, that is side angle side. Okay, side angle side. So what this side angle side criteria says, that if we have two triangles such that their two sides are equal, corresponding two sides are equal, and the included angle is equal, then we'll say triangles are congruent. So two triangles, we do write two triangles said to be congruent. Two triangles are said to be congruent if two sides and the included angle. Now here you should understand what is the meaning of included angle. Okay, so two sides and the included angle of one triangle are equal to the two sides and included angle are equal to the corresponding two sides and included angle of another triangle. This is the first criteria or the condition. Side angle side, two triangles said to be congruent if two sides. Okay, if I take two triangles, let the triangles be ABC and let the another triangle be PQR. Now we can say these two are congruent if two sides of one triangle and included angle. For example, I'm talking about side AB and AC. So I took these two sides and then this will be the included angle. Now if these two sides and this included angle is equal to the corresponding two sides and the included angle of this triangle, that means if I say this AB is equal to Q, this AC equal to PR, and this angle A is equal to angle P, then we will say triangles are congruent by side angle side. Okay, two triangles said to be congruent if two sides and included angle of one triangle are equal to the corresponding two sides and the included angle of another triangle. So here we will say, here we can write in triangle ABC and triangle PQR, AB is equal to PQ. Okay, angle A is equal to angle P, side AC is equal to PR. Therefore we will say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR, is congruent to triangle PQR. Okay, please note it down. Okay, as we discussed in our last lecture that here order of these vertices is very important. See, here AB equal to PQ, AC equal to PR and angle A equal to angle P. So I wrote ABC is congruent to PQR. Now you can see this AB, from here this AB, yes, it is equal to PQ. From here this BC is equal to QR and angle A is equal to angle P. Now this, as the triangles are congruent, we have some more information. As we know, if the triangles are congruent, their corresponding parts are equal. That we denote by a short word, that is CPCT. Okay, so on the basis of that, as the triangles are congruent, definitely remaining parts of this triangle will be equal to the remaining parts of this triangle. Why I am saying remaining parts? Because these three parts are already given. So three parts which are left, angle B, angle C, QR and side BC. Definitely angle B will be equal to one of the angle of triangle PQR. Then how to determine which angle of this triangle will be equal to which angle of this? That we'll get with the help of this. Here this order is correct. So here at the second position letter B is there. Here at the second position letter Q is there. It means definitely angle B will be equal to angle Q, as well as definitely angle C will be equal to angle R and side BC will be equal to side QR. Okay, so now see this is over. Now I am giving you one more example. Suppose here I take triangle ABC in this way. Okay, let the AB is equal to this and this. Now here I take another triangle PQR. Okay, now I say this. Okay, now if I ask you, can we say these two triangles are congruent? So okay, first of all, see, till now we have only one criteria, side angle. We have to check whether two sides of this triangle are equal to two sides of this triangle or not. Yes, side AB is equal to PR, side BC equal to PQ, as well as included angle. Means as we are talking about these, included angle is B. Over here we are talking about these two sides, that is PQ and PR, so included angle is P. So they are also equal. So triangles are congruent. Now if I say write the correct order of the congruency or the correspondence of congruency, so how to write that? It is very important, because throughout this exercise, throughout this chapter, although I can say throughout this geometry part, we need these congruency criteria time to time. So you should know that how to write the correct order of congruency. So here I will say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR, not PQR. Now here I have to write the correct order. Now how to determine this? See, here side AB, yes, side AB is equal to side PR. Here if I write this, then this will be wrong. because AB is not equal to PQ, isn't it? Here AB is actually PR, so you have to write the order in such a way that corresponding sides be equal. So here AB is equal to which side? PR. So here I will write triangle PR, or it is quite possible that is triangle RP, because AB is equal to PR, or I can say AB is equal to RP as well as. Now what about side BC? So either it will be triangle PRQ or it will be triangle RPQ. Now I will check the next thing, that is side BC. Now BC is equal to PQ. So BC is equal to PQ. If I write over here Q, then AB is definitely equal to PR. That is the correct combination. But when I write Q over here, that gives me BC equal to RQ, which is actually incorrect combination. So I will cancel this and I will go for this, because if I write RPQ, I will get both the things correct. AB will be equal to RP, AB is equal to RP, and BC is equal to PQ, BC equal to PQ. So correct order of the congruency will be triangle RPQ. Now you can check as well as angle. Here angle B must be equal to P. You will find angle B is equal to angle P. If you write the order correct, but obvious, you will get the remaining part in the correct order. Now if I say you that write remaining parts which are equal, so just from here I can say A must be equal to angle R. From here only I can say, because I wrote this in the correct order, so I will get the information of the remaining part as well. Here I can say angle A equal to R, B equal to P. However, it is already given C is equal to Q. Also I can say this side AC. If I take these two vertices, side AC, this is equal to side RQ. Okay, so if you write the correct order, you will get the remaining parts directly. So you should know how to write the correct order. We will see in each and every criteria this type of practice, so that you understand this in a better way. Okay, so here again I am repeating side angle side. Two triangles, we can say two triangles are congruent if two sides and included angle. See, name itself says side angle side. Angle is between the two sides. Okay, I can't write SAS in this form, FSA. This will be incorrect. These two are not equal. This side angle side says that two sides and the included angle of one triangle must be equal to corresponding two sides and the included angle of another triangle. Then only we can say triangles are congruent. Okay, so that is the first criteria. Now we'll see the second criteria. Now this criteria SAS is actually an axiom, so here its proof is not required. However, a proof of this SAS is given in your book, but over there what they are doing, they are taking this triangle and they are placing this triangle on that. On that basis they had proved, which is actually not allowed. So now we'll see the second condition, and that is a theorem, and we will see its proof as well. So second is angle side angle theorem. It is the theorem angle side angle, ASA. ASA, that is angle side angle. Angle side angle congruency criteria or congruency rule or congruency condition, whatever you say. Now here name itself says two triangles said to be congruent if two angles and the included side. Now here you must understand included side. Two triangles said to be congruent if two angles and the included side of one triangle are equal to the corresponding corresponding two angles and included side of another triangle. Okay, now in short, if I have these two triangles ABC and PQR. Now what this statement want to say? Now we can say these two triangles congruent if, what should be the condition? Two angles. So if I take angle B and angle C and included side. Now this is the included side between B and C. AC is the side included between A and C. AB is the side included between A and B. So here as I took the angles A and C, included side will be considered as BC. So this statement or this theorem says two triangles will be congruent if two angles. So here I am saying angle B is equal to angle Q and angle C is equal to R and BC equal to QR. If two angles are equal, for a two triangle, if two angles are equal and the included side equal, we can say triangles are congruent. So here I will write in triangle ABC and triangle PQR, angle B is equal to angle Q. One thing more, see here I know that I am going to apply the criteria angle side angle. So I do write the parts of these two triangles in the same order. First I will write angle, then I do write side, and then I do write angle. That is the one thing. One more thing, here I wrote angle ABC and triangle PQR. So first I wrote angle ABC. So on the left hand side I do write the parts of angle B. On the right hand side I do write the part of triangle PQR. Suppose here if I write triangle PQR and triangle ABC, then I do write the parts of triangle PQR on the left hand side and the parts of triangle ABC on the right hand side. That means the order in which you are writing the triangles, in the same order you have to writing the corresponding parts, as well as following this order, that is ASA. So first angle, then side, and then again angle. So angle angle B equal to angle Q, then BC is equal to QR, and then angle C is equal to angle R. So therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Okay, here I gave you the parts in such a way so that you can write the order directly. But suppose the parts are given in different order, then you have to think over that before you write the correct order of the vertices. Okay, so note it down, then we'll see one example in which I will give you the different parts and I will ask you to write the congruency of the triangles in the correct order of the vertices. But first of all, note it down. Okay, before I give you the one more example, here one thing we can conclude, one more thing we can conclude. See, it is given B equal to Q, it is given C equal to R, it is given BC equal to QR. Now, other than these three parts, there are three more parts of these two triangles which are equal. Why? Because triangles are congruent. Now, what those parts are? See here. If we talk about angle, it's very obvious B and C are equal, so but obvious A and P will be equal. Now what about sides? Here BC equal to QR. Now whether AB will be equal to PQ or AB will be equal to PR. However, here I gave you that diagrams in such a way so that you can directly say that AB equal to PQ, but this gives you the correct order always. So AB PQ. So here you can see this AB, these two if I take together, here if I take these together, so AB is equal to PQ. With the help of the correct order, it is always easy to find the remaining parts of the triangle which will be equal to each other because of the congruency of the triangles. So here AB equal to PQ as well as AC. If I take first one and the last one, that gives me AC. Here P and R. So AC equal to PR. See, again I am repeating, here the diagram is given in such a way that we can conclude these things directly without using this even. But suppose the diagram is little bit complicated, then this congruency criteria, congruency of the triangles which is in the correct order gives you the information about the remaining parts. Now we'll see this type of example. Suppose here if I write, now I'm changing the names as well, A, Q, Z, because it always get fixed A, B, C and P, Q, R. So here I took A, Q, Z and D, E, F. Okay, D, E, F. Now here if I say this angle Q is equal to this angle D, this angle Z is equal to this angle E, and this side equal to this side. Now first question, can we say triangles are congruent? See, now we have to think about two criteria because we are in the second criteria. But if two angles are given, so till now we have only one criteria related to two angles, that is angle side angle. So now question is, if these two angles are equal and the included side are equal, so yes, triangles are congruent. That is the first thing we can say, definitely these two triangles are congruent. Now what is the correct order of the congruency? What is the correct order of the congruency? So here if I write triangle AQZ, so that should be congruent to triangle. Now when two angles are there, then it is quite easy to write the correct order. See, Q equal to Z, D equal to F, Q equal to D and Z equal to E. So but obvious this A will be equal to F by the angle sum property. If in a triangle, suppose this is 70, this is 30, okay, 30, 70. So but obvious the remaining angles have same measure, 80 degree. Okay, I can directly say here as A, so here it should be F. Then Q, we have directly Q is equal to D and Z is equal to E. Okay, so when two angles are there in the criteria, then it is easy to write the correct order of the vertices. Now we can see here QZ is equal to DE. You will find this QZ is equal to DE, but obviously you will find, as well as we also have information about remaining two sides. That means here I can say this AQ will be equal to FD. AQ will be equal to FD, as well as AZ will be equal to FE. I am giving all the answers with the help of this correct order only. Now suppose you do not have this correct order, or if I say that without using this correct order, give me the information that which remaining angles of these two triangles and which remaining sides of these two triangles will be equal to each other. So for that, first of all we'll check whether the triangles are congruent or not. With the help of given information we can say triangles are congruent by angle side angle, because two angles and the included side of one triangle are equal to the corresponding two angles and the included side of another triangle. Triangles are congruent. Now we have to identify which remaining angle and which remaining sides of first triangle are equal to which remaining angle and the remaining sides of the second triangle. So see, here QZ is equal to DE, it is given. So but obvious angle opposite to these two sides will be equal. That means angle opposite to QZ is A, isn't it? And angle opposite to DE is equal to F. So this is also a way to get the remaining parts of the congruent triangle. Now A equal to F because we have QZ equal to DE. Now we can also get one more information. See, here we got the remaining angle. Now what about remaining side? So for the remaining side, again we can state the similar statement. That means remaining sides will be equal to, which are opposite to the equal angles. Here angle Q is equal to angle D, so side opposite to Q is AZ. That must be equal to side opposite to D, that is EF. Also here angle Z is equal to angle E, so side opposite to Z, that is AQ, will be equal to side opposite to E, that is DF. So this is also a way to find the remaining parts equal. Which remaining parts will be equal? Okay, I hope you are getting this point. Now we'll see the proof of this angle side angle. Okay, so again I repeat this angle side angle criteria or axiom, whatever you say. Sorry, not axiom, angle side angle condition for the congruency, or the criteria of congruency, or the rule of the congruency. What it says, see, we can say two triangles are congruent if two angles and the included side of one triangle are equal to the corresponding two angles and the included side of the another triangle. So now we will see its proof. As I told you earlier that you have to write the theorems in a theorem book. In lines and angles we saw 4 theorems, proof of 4 theorems I gave you in the class, and 2 theorems I told you to do at your home. So 6 theorems I am counting from lines and angles, and in this chapter this is the first theorem whose proof I am going to give you. Angle side angle. Okay, so we have two triangles A, B, C and triangle DEF. DEF. We have to prove these two triangles are congruent. So what we have given in triangle ABC and triangle DEF, we have given angle A is equal to, angle B is equal to angle E, angle C is equal to angle F, and BC is equal to EF. To prove, what we have to prove, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, that we have to prove. So think for a while that how we'll proceed to prove it, then I will give you its proof. Okay, now let us see its proof. See, there are three possibilities in this case. There are three possibilities. So we'll see all three cases. Case 1, see, before I proceed, let me do this. This is already given to you. Okay. Now, first case I am considering, see, if I find the relation between AB and DE, so there are three possibilities: either AB equal to DE, or AB less than DE, or AB greater than DE. So case 1, when AB is equal to DE. Okay, when AB is equal to D. So now in triangle, ABC and triangle DEF, AB is equal to, see, I am assuming these two are equal. Okay, now when these two are equal, now can I say the triangles are congruent? By side angle side. See, AB is equal to D, we assumed right now. B equal to E, it is given, and BC equal to EF, it is also given. So we can say triangles are congruent. So AB is equal to DE. Here I can write by assumption. Okay, then angle B is equal to angle E, that is given. Now you have to cultivate this habit to write the reason beside the step whenever it is required. And BC is equal to EF, that is again given. So therefore I can say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. See, if I'm able to prove that in all three conditions, that means whether AB is equal to D, triangles are congruent or not, whether AB is less than 2D, triangles are congruent or not, and in the third case, if I'm able to prove in all three cases triangles are congruent, I can say triangles will be congruent by angle side angle. So this is the first case. Now case 2, or simply case 2. When AB is less than DE. Okay, I am considering AB is less than DE. Okay, so now let me draw the diagram once again. Here triangle ABC, and this is the triangle DEF. Okay, triangle DEF. Now here what I assume that AB is less than DE. So if I take a point Q on DE such that, see, here it is given AB is smaller than D. For a while suppose AB is 3 cm, just for a while, and DE is greater, suppose it is 5 cm. So definitely I can find one point on DE such that this AB will be equal to QE. Okay, because this is 5, again I'm just assuming this is 5, so definitely we'll find a point over here so that EQ will be equal to 3 cm, that will be equal to AB. Okay, so note it down up to this point, then I will explain this further. Okay, so now case 2, when AB equal to D. So in this case, after this diagram you have to write in this case, or better to, okay, in this case take a point Q on DE such that AB is equal to EQ, Okay, I took point Q on DE to make this DE is equal to this AB. So now I'll take these two triangles. Now further join QF. Okay, as well as you have to join QF. Now in triangle ABC, and triangle QEF and triangle QEF. See, it is already given angle B equal to angle E, isn't it? It is given angle B is equal to angle E. Or first we will start here, AB is equal to QE. Why AB is equal to QE? AB is equal to QE. Why? It is by assumption or by construction. By construction. Angle B is equal to angle E. Why angle B is equal to angle E? It is given. We have given angle B is equal to, see, as we used over here, similarly over here angle B is equal to angle E. Also I can say BC equal to EF, and BC is equal to EF. Why BC equal to EF? That is again given. So I can say, therefore I can say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABC is congruent to triangle QEF. Okay, reason, side angle side. By side angle side, triangles are congruent. Here again I actually missed, so include this side angle. Here you have to write the reason, by which criteria. You can write only SAS, or you can write SAS rule, SAS criteria, SAS condition, or only SAS is okay. So here I proved these two triangles are congruent by side angle side. Now as the triangles are congruent, as I told you, when the triangles are congruent, their corresponding parts are equal. So here, as the triangles are congruent, ABC is congruent to triangle QEF. So I can write this angle C is equal to this angle 1. So therefore, after this I can write, therefore angle ACB is equal to angle QFE. Angle QFE. And what reason behind this? Angle QFE. And what is the reason behind this? Why these two angles are equal? Why I am writing these two angles are equal? See, again I am repeating, because the triangles are congruent, therefore their corresponding parts will be equal. So as these angles are congruent, we proved right now, definitely we have right to write that corresponding angles are equal. Now here what reason we have to write? The actual reason is that actually I should write, as the triangles are congruent, therefore their corresponding parts will be equal. But I won't write that much. For that we have a shortcut, that is CPCT. Just I do write CPCT, which means because the triangles are congruent, therefore their corresponding parts will be equal. This stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So here I got angle ACB equal to angle QFE. Let it be equation number 1. But we know that angle ACB is equal to angle DFE. Angle DFE. Okay, reason behind this, that is given. I can write this is given. Let it be equation number 2. Okay, ACB equal to QFE. Why? Because of CPCT. Because the triangles are congruent, their corresponding parts are equal. ACB equal to DFE. Why? Because it is given. Now use these two equations from 1 and 2. From 1 and 2. Now if you see 1 and 2 here, the right sides are equal, so but obvious left sides will be equal. Or we can use one of the Euclid's axiom. What it says? Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to each other. Okay, either we can use Euclid's axiom, or we can say, as their left hand sides are equal, right hand sides will be equal, or the right hand side is equal, so left hand sides will be equal. So here I can say angle QFE is equal to angle DFE. Angle DFE. Angle QFE is equal to angle DFE. Okay, now see over here, this QFE is equal to DFE. Now is it possible this smaller angle is equal to this larger angle? When I say QFE, that means I am talking about this angle. When I say DFE, I am talking about this angle. Now can we say this smaller angle is equal to this little bit larger angle? Yes, only when this ray DF or line segment or line, whatever you say, if this DF coincides with QF, or this point D coincides with point Q. Now when this DF coincides with QF, or if point D coincides with Q, I'll get what? That AB is equal to D. That means what I actually assumed will become wrong. So I'll get that AB equal to D, and as AB equal to D, we can say are congruent. So here I started case 2, so note down this, okay, then this, and then this. Then I will give you the remaining portion of case 2. Okay, so now after this, okay, I'm considering that you have noted down this. I'm not removing this diagram because still I need this to explain you. So after this, now next, so from 1 and 2, I concluded that angle QFE is equal to angle DFE. Okay, now after this I will write, but this is possible only if DF coincides with QF or point D coincides with point Q. Okay, this is possible only if that DF coincides with QF or point D coincides with point F. Therefore, and it means when if this possible, if it means I can say therefore AB must be equal to DE. Therefore AB must be equal to DE. Let this be equation number 3. Okay, so now in triangle ABC and triangle DEF, okay, our target was that in case 1 we proved triangles are congruent, ABC is congruent to DF. Now in case 2 again my target is to prove are congruent. So now I came to that point. So now in triangle ABC and DF, here I can write AB is equal to DE. Okay, AB is equal to DE, that is given. Okay, and not given. AB is equal to D, not given. Okay, for case 2 it is not given. Okay, although in the question is although in the theorem it is not given, but AB equal to D we proved. So here I will write proved in third. In third we are saying that AB and D are equal. We proved it. Angle B is equal to angle E. that is definitely given. And third is BC equal to EF. BC is equal to EF. That is again given. So I can say triangles are congruent. So here I will write therefore triangles are congruent. So here I will write therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Reason again by side angle side. So here case 2 gets over. Now in third case, that means now we'll assume that AB is greater than DE, and I will follow the same method to prove that triangles are congruent. Okay, so please note it down. Okay, again I'm explaining. After this I took this and this, so note it down, then we come to the third case. Now we'll see the third case. So case 3, when AB is greater than DE. Okay, so here I am taking the case 3, AB is greater than DE. Okay, now case 3, when AB is greater than DE. So again let us draw a diagram. Triangle ABC and triangle DEF. Okay, here AB is greater than. So again if I assume with the number, so either I can take a point over here or I can say extend this. Both things can be done. So better to take a point on this. So when AB is greater than AB is greater than DE. So here I am taking point let the point is J. So in this case take a point on AB, take a point J on AB such that BJ is equal to DE. Okay, also join CZ. Okay, what I took here, AB is greater than, so for example this is 5, this is 3, so I took a point J such that BJ is equal to DE. Also join CJ. Now in triangle BCJ and triangle DEF and triangle EFD, better to write triangle EFD. Okay, this BJ equal to DE, BJ is equal to DE. Why BJ equal to DE? By assumption. Okay, by construction or by assumption. By construction, this angle B is equal to angle E, that is given. Okay, angle B is equal to angle E given. This BC equal to EF. BC is equal to EF. Okay, BC is equal to EF, that is again given. Okay, you can see this diagram as well. BC equal to EF given. Therefore, triangle BCJ is congruent to triangle EFD by side angle side. Okay, isn't it? This side, this side, this angle, and this side angle side. As the triangles are congruent, I can say the corresponding sides will be equal. So I can say angle BCD, angle BCJ, or angle BCJ. I am talking about this smaller angle is equal to angle EFD is equal to angle EFD. Reason again I will write CPCT. Okay. Explaining once again, as these triangles are congruent, therefore their corresponding parts will be equal, and I won't write this complete statement. Instead of that complete statement, I do write CPCT, which stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Okay, but angle BCA, is equal to angle EFD. Okay, let this was equation number. Okay, here let this is the first one, CPCT. Okay, and now this angle BCA is equal to EFD. Okay, this BCA is equal to EFD. It is already given, is equal to angle EFD. That is not first, second, because up to third we already used. So here it should be equation number 4. This will be equation number 5. That is given. So now from this 4th and 5th, okay, again I can say as right hand sides are equal, so left will be equal, or I can say by Euclid's axiom, things which are equal, things which are not things which are equal, yes, these two things which are equal to the same thing will be equal to each other. Therefore angle BCJ is equal to angle BCA. But again here I came to a contradictory statement. This smaller angle, okay, I concluded this is equal to this, but this is only possible if AC coincides with CZ or A coincides with Z. But this is possible only if the CJ coincides with CA or coincides with A, or point J coincides with point A. Now if this A coincides with point J, gives me or concludes that AB is equal to D. So note it down up to this point, then I will give you the further solution. Okay, so after that, therefore Therefore AB must be equal to DE. Therefore AB must be equal to DE. That is equation number 6. Now in triangle ABC and triangle DEF, again we come to the original triangle. ABC equal to, in triangle ABC and DEF, so AB is equal to DE from 6th. Okay, angle B is equal to angle D, that is given, and BC equal to EF. BC is equal to EF, that is again given. So hence I can say triangles are congruent. Therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. So here reason by side angle side. So here we can conclude thus triangle A, thus in all three cases triangles are congruent, so we can say this criteria is good. So okay, so in all three cases triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, hence proof. Okay, so that is the proof of the first theorem, that is angle side angle. So in this lecture we saw criteria of the congruency of the triangles. First we saw side angle side, that was an axiom. Then next we saw angle side angle and its proof. Now in next lecture we will start with angle side and then side side. And if we get the time we will see also right angle hypotenuse side, that is RHS. So we will meet in the next lecture. Till then, bye, thank you, take care, stay at home.